Hey guys, hope your day is going amazing. I'm so excited because today I'm getting to talk about something that I love so much, which are movies. Getting to, boy, I make my own schedule, okay? I make my own schedule. Of course, I can do whatever I want, okay? So today I put on the schedule that we are going to talk about movies, some movies that I've seen in the theaters. I was deciding whether or not I was gonna do like two movies or four movies, one video or two videos on this. And I think I might just stick to doing two movies a video, if that makes sense. So they're not gonna be like super long, but they're also not gonna be super short. And they're gonna be movies that are poppin', people are talking about, so maybe not necessarily in the theaters right now, but like straight out of theaters or something like that. I'm so excited. I love movies. Okay, also don't take these as like, yes, they're reviews, but they're not critiques. I'm not in any way a film critic. Like, I have no desire to be. I'm just telling you the movies that I've been watching recently and like what I thought about them. And full disclosure, I completely believe that you should never base whether or not you're gonna watch a movie based on someone else's opinion, because that's absurd to me. Like, you obviously aren't gonna think of it the same way that someone else would, so you should go watch it on your own. I don't know. Anyways, and see what you think about it. Anyways, let's get started. Movies I'm going to talk about today are 47 Meters Down and Get Out. So for 47 Meters Down, although it was the one that came out after, it's the one that I watched first out of the two. And 47 Meters Down was like the story I thought was very well written. However, I didn't like the dialogue. But, you know, that's just me, because I don't like when people are like, oh, I don't want to die from that shark. Like, obviously you don't want to die. Like, you don't need to say that. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of like the dialogue that I was getting throughout the movie. I'm a Mandy Moore fan and a Claire Holt fan, so I was super down for that. The scenarios that they were in were incredible, that they could like get through them, you know? And I've never seen Mandy Moore do a role like that before, so that was really cool. Because she was kind of breaking out of her normal rom-com type comedies, whatever, into a new genre, which I really appreciated and respected that. Also, Matthew Modine was in it, which was awesome because I like him as well. And he spoke Spanish, which was like, that was funny. What just happened? Yeah, so I don't know. I really, really liked the problems that they had weren't forced or stupid. They made sense and they were realistic problems. I really enjoyed it. I don't know, I liked the ending, I liked everything about it, except the dialogue, like I said. The poster, my friends and I talked about this. I went to go see it with my friend Caroline, and she is the one that was like pushing to see it, and I was like, I've never heard of this movie before, but okay. Which I was down to see it because she wanted to see it, and I didn't really care either way. I'm always down to see I'm always down to see a movie. The air conditioner just went off. Thank you very much. That's gonna be inconsistent. I'm always down to see like any movie, you know? So I was like, okay, whatever. And she showed me this poster and I was like, what is that? It looked like, the poster looked like it should have been on the back of a cereal box or something. Like it looked like the back part, you know, where it shows you like the calorie count and like the sugars and everything. It looked like they took one of those and just like stuck a picture of a shark in a cage on it. And I was like, I don't know, it was not my favorite poster. So that was like kind of, I enjoyed how it kept you intrigued, because there was always, any movie where they can make something happen in one location is very respectable. Shout out to Reservoir Dogs. That's my best and most favorite example of something where everything happens in one location. They make an entire story out of it. Okay, now my fridge just turned on. What is going on in my Wait, my fridge is always on. I thought it was cool. If you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to hear the spoilers, skip to the next movie on this video because I'm about to hit the spoilers right now. I'll give you a chance. Okay. So, yeah, like the ending was insane. Like I feel like everyone knew that one of the people was gonna die. One of the girls was gonna die. They just didn't know who it was. But I also didn't expect for one of the guys to die. And like, oh my God, in that one part where she like turns on the thing and like she turns on the flare and there's just like a million sharks right there. And that was insane to me. I think that was in the hallucination. CGI on the sharks looks way better than Sharknado. The ending was kind of cool how they just kind of left it up in the air. But the hallucination part, I saw it coming because when Matthew Modine's character referenced that there might be hallucination from changing oxygen tanks, that's kind of foreshadowing. You know, after they go for a certain time, you're like, oh, this is like, maybe it's real, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden she's just like, bah, no, it's not real. I don't know. So yeah, that was a fun one. Next movie is Get Out.
Get out right now. It's the end of you and me.
But in reality, this movie was like, I didn't get to see it in the theaters, which I'm really upset about because, you know, not all movies are like this, but it's a movie that it's theatrical, you know, like it has a cinematic experience to it. I don't know, it's not like watching, you know, 16 Candles or something, as much as I love that movie. Watching a rom-com, I don't know why I just picked like an old rom-com, like what? It's not like watching The Switch with Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman, you know what I mean? It's not like watching that in the theater because as hilarious and amazing as that movie is, I can get the same out of watching it here on my theater, I can get the same kind of, you know, feeling from it that I would in the theater as I would in my house, which is not necessarily true for some other movies, which, you know, you have the community of the theater, like laughing together, and I love watching comedies in the theater. And when I get a chance to, I do. I'm not gonna say no to it. I'm just saying that I would have really liked to see Get Out in a theater for that reason. I'm not even in the review yet. I've just been talking about how I wish I could have seen it in the theaters. I liked the movie a lot. There was a few times where I was like cringingly uncomfortable, and I was on the plane when I was watching it, so I was like looking around at other people. It's the kind of uncomfortable that unless you've seen the movie, if you're just looking at it, you're like, oh, what's going on? This woman's just like, you know, stirring her tea or whatever. And this guy's like freaking out about it. And then that was just not the case. Like, if you knew what was going on in that moment, you're like, ugh. And so, I don't know, there was a lot of times around the plane I was just like, the guy that played Snoop in Straight Outta Compton was in it. He's like I think he was in Atlanta too. I'm a fan of him. Yeah, he's good. I thought that the cast was fantastic. I don't think there's anything that I didn't like about it. I liked the pace of it. It was slow, but it didn't feel like it was dragging out, you know what I mean? So it was like a nice balance, and the portrayal of the different things, I'm trying to be as vague as possible for the non-spoiler part, but the portrayal of different things that happened, like the way that he was feeling and the way that different people were feeling, it really took you, like the cinematography and the way that they shot it portrayed that well. You know what I mean? Like they portrayed the way that he was feeling very well. And I feel like Jordan Peele knew exactly what he wanted, like when he wanted the audience to be really uncomfortable versus like kind of uncomfortable versus like feel like they're safe and then they're not. You know what I mean? Because as the audience, no one wants to put themselves in the shoes of the family. Everyone wants to put themselves in the shoes of the other guy and be like, you know, because you're rooting for him. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I would definitely watch it. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Bravo to Jordan Peele. Okay, I'm about to hit the spoilers part again. So if you want to skip to the outro, I will have a big graphic saying outro that you can skip to on the timeline because I'm going to give some spoilers. Or you can just stop watching the vid. make your decision now because I'm about to start spoiling things. Okay. Not believe how the ending turned out. Like, it was amazing. I loved it because, okay, so obviously you're rooting for him to get out, but you're like, there's no way. And then, of course, he's brilliant and stuffs cotton in his ears from a chair. Like, what? Who thinks of that? So that happened. And then he escaped, killed the whole family, leaves, and then almost dies. And then his buddy drives up in the cop car, which was perfect. And I felt like that part, by that time, I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's just no way. This has to be his friend, because everyone would go into like a small depression if that's how the movie ended. He just got picked up by a cop. So you're just like, please, 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 like, this has to be his friend, or else. First of all, what was his friend doing all that looking for? Like, why would they show that in the movie? But, you know, in this small section of time, that's like 15 seconds where the cop drives up. They see, she's like, help. He's like, boy, what you doing? That was all like 15 seconds. So you don't have that much time to think about all that during that time. But when you go back and think about it, you're like, of course it was going to be him and not some other random cop. That would have just been like... One of the other things that made me uncomfortable was how blatantly racist. Oh, well, okay, obviously they were being racist. But in the conversations they're having when they first meet him, when they first meet the boyfriend or the main character, they're not like attempting to hide the fact that they're racist. It seems like they think that they are, but it's so obvious that they're all just like really weird, and I don't know. All in all, I thought it was, no, not all in all, I thought it was a great movie. The end. Bang, bang, cha. Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I liked the way that she hypnotized him with the tea. Like, that was very creative, and oh my god, the noise, I don't know, just the sounds they used, the lighting, like everything about the way that it was shot and put together, and all the sounds added and heightened and enhanced, or whatever, all the sounds that were enhanced or added or whatever in post. I just thought it sounded amazing. Everything was so good, and you know, people don't think about the sound a lot, but if you've ever been on sound for a set, you think about it, because you're like, well, no, some people love it. It's not for me. It's just like incredible how much it affects the movie, and it definitely affected this movie. The sound did. So if you haven't seen it yet and you're watching this part, I don't know why you're watching it, but I mean, maybe you just like to know what you're getting into. I'm the complete opposite. But if you haven't seen it yet, just listen for the sound. And if you have seen it, go back and watch it again, and also listen for the sound, because it's amazing. Oh my god. Just like, the music. Oh, everything's just like so uncomfortable about it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, if you haven't already, hit the like button and that subscribe button, and I will post a vid every Sunday and Wednesday, so look out for them. No warning, all surprise. I like to keep you on your toes, on your tippy toes. I hope you enjoyed these movies, and one more time, these are not critiques, the reviews. And still go watch the movies, even if you didn't like my reviews, because movies are masterpieces. Movies are not overrated. Okay. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.